Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. Excuse me for my scratchy throat. Went out for karaoke last night and as usual overdid it. Anyways, coming into my stream as usual, just remember nothing on my channel is ever financial advice. We're just here talking about GameStop. Just make my commentary based off of all the crazy stuff I've heard about it so far. And for those of you guys that are new over here, yes, I invested in GameStop. And also I was a part of GameStop. I was an investor in 2021. I was there for 2021 January on the 28th when they stopped those buy buttons. So this is kind of like a deja vu, except my viewpoints on everything has changed. And I'm not sure how everybody else is feeling, but I feel like I'm a pretty basic person. And if I feel this way, there must be a lot of other people out there that may feel the same way about it as I do. And these videos are also for learning purposes for myself in the future, kind of to look back at and see where my thought process was when I made the decisions, the financial decisions that I made. So if you enjoy these videos, please smash the like button. None of this is scripted in any way. So I'm just literally just talking to you. That's just everything out of my head. And it may change over the days, as obviously Roaring Kitty, DFE himself, has stated that you can't really put on a price target for things because theses change. And as time goes by and as different people get involved, different things happen in a company, your thesis is just naturally bound to change. But anyways, if you enjoy these videos, please make sure you're subscribed. It is absolutely free to do so. If you want to go that extra mile and support my channel, definitely consider becoming a community member here at the Rubber Chicken YOLO Gang. It's about $5 a month, and you can have your name highlighted on the streams along with all of the comments. You get priority responses on YouTube over here. But as always, just smash that like button, as that's always free to do so in whatever economy. Hi there, Sebastian. Welcome, welcome. Yes, all is pretty good because it is Sunday, and I'm just super pumped that at 8 o'clock I can finally see the market move. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm so deep in it that weekends just piss me off. Like why can't we just be on Monday to Friday nonstop? But if you are like new to GameStop or you just started trading and stuff like that, oh boy, are you in for something? Because I remember like when I started to trade, it wasn't like as crazy as whoever started. If you started to trade like in 2020, I guess, because 2020 was the wildest thing to be trading in. For me, I started in 2019, so I feel like 2019 was more like calm and relaxed. Like things were still going up like crazy. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like people weren't as used to like okay, increase 100%, 200%, and just feeling like that's normal because that's not really normal. Um, but having lived through like 2020 and 2021, I'm a little bit, I guess the reality of like the stock market and trading options and just owning regular shares to me has like it's my viewpoint is still I think like not that normal because I feel like I was so used to the volatility and yeah, it was like a few years ago, but it's still like ingrained in my mind. But I don't take it for granted. And that's why like currently having jumped into GameStop just like I did in 2021, I have my reservations. And if you don't, then I suggest you look at older YouTube videos that might be out that other YouTubers have, or just look at the chart for GameStop in the past, and you're going to see that it's not going to be up, up, up every day like Nvidia. And honestly, even with Nvidia, you could look at Apple or Tesla. Honestly, when Tesla did their stock split, was it in 2020, either 2021 or 2022? I forget honestly, but when Tesla did their stock split, when Apple did their stock split, like things went up just like Nvidia. But eventually they did a correction. And that's also like due to all of the other exterior factors on whatever else is going on in the world, the interest rates, whatever basically J Powell says. So just remember that what goes up must come down and what down may not always come up. And sometimes in the large Apple, if you invested like within the last like 20 years ago, yeah, you have like your down days, your pullbacks, your pullback months. But overall, in the grand scale of things, so like look at even Tesla, honestly, like just far out max chart. It's still like quite amazing. I'm not saying that that's gonna happen with GameStop necessarily, but anyways, So I've been giving a lot of thought, and I was watching. If you watch my other videos, like I watched an entire 5 hour long. Actually, I'm not done, so I'm not. I watched 4 hours and 30 minutes of a 5 hour and 30 minute long Roaring Kitty video, just to like see how he really values stocks and like all the stuff that he talked about for GameStop. And I learned a couple things through those 5 hours. My 5 hour investment into GameStop, and that's something like I guess I wanted to share with you guys, with whoever is interested. He said, well, first off, just keep this in mind that like when he was doing his live stream, I think there was like maybe 600 people there or something. People were asking him like, "Roaring Kitty, what's your price target? What's your price target?" Because remember, when he made those videos at that time, GameStop had reached like $31 of like a high, right? It reached about $31, $32 from like around $4 when he had bought it in. So it basically already did a 10x. And everybody who was watching his streams and whatnot already made money if they bought it because of him or they were also just interested. And when he was talking about it, like Ryan Cohen was just like joining the board. There was still another CEO. I don't know his name, but there was another CEO, the previous CEO before Ryan Cohen that is now that came in through 2023. There was another CEO at the time, and it didn't hit the 400 something dollars that it did, and around 30 something dollars pre-split for GameStop at the time back in like 2021. Roy Kitty was saying that he doesn't have a price target when people were asking him for a price target. And remember, at that time, GameStop was at a market cap of about $2 billion. You can look back at his old videos and fact check this, but as always, never financial advice on my channel. So, anyways, when it was around $2 billion, people were asking him, like, what's your price target? What's your price target? Basically, like, when are you going to sell? Which is, I think, everybody's question, right? Like, when is this dude going to sell? He has 9,001,000 shares now, which, by the way, there's like so much conspiracy theories out there, and there's so many people like saying, oh my God, he's going to hold it. He's going to hold it forever. He's never going to sell. He's going to join the board. And again, I'm still trying to figure out what he really wants to do. But right now, I'm leaning actually towards like, I think he's going to hold it a lot longer than most of us assumed he would. Like, to be honest, like when I saw like his Uno reverse card, his little like meme that popped it to like $80, I thought like he was just in it to make a quick buck, a quick $1 billion or millions. Honestly, I didn't even think he was going to have like $1 billion. He didn't post his position, right? Like when he did the whole gamer getting up serious position meme, like nobody knew how much money I had. So I was like, okay, like, yeah, maybe he's in it for like 100 million, couple 100 million. Like that to me is mind boggling, life changing money. But he's not the average person. Because if he was the average person, like I knew people who invested in GameStop as well when it was $4, like pre-split. But those people got out at like $6. That's like a basic person. So he's not your average basic person, or else he wouldn't be called Roaring Kitty and DFB and kind of like help push up this wild movement and squeeze the shorts. But anyway, so he didn't have a price target back when GameStop was like $2 billion. And therefore, even now at like $10 billion, I don't think he has a price target as to how much he's going to tell people like he's happy with and he's going to sell, right? And that especially won't be true if he does end up joining the board, which is everybody's speculation, just because he had that meme with Michael Scott, is it from The Office, like shaking hands with his boss before he worked at the company. And I need to watch The Office again. Anyways, people are speculating that, and also because when Ryan Cohen like bought shares, he also had 9,001,000 shares when he joined the board. I think it was like 2020 or something. So people are making that comparison, like that's him saying like I want it, like I'm gonna join the board, or maybe leaving hints. I think there's just like a lot of wild stuff out there, and because it's National Take Your Cat to Work Day, but apparently it's also like garbage man day, or there's like a lot of days happening on Monday, tomorrow, on the 17th. So let me know if you think, because I don't think there's that many coincidences in the world. Like I feel like when you see too many coincidences, that might just not be a coincidence anymore. Sorry, I'm just gonna go down the rabbit hole of all the crazy like rumors, but there's another one. This one's like I think even okay, because like the Bring Your Cat to Work Day, I'm like okay, somebody googled it and they were like they made the link, and saying that like okay, that means like Roaring Kitty's gonna join the board, which at this point like I honestly wouldn't be too shocked, but I would feel a little bit bad because I think once you join the board, obviously there's like requirements that you have to like live by, and that's you can't. there's a lot of things you can't say about the stock because that's insider information if you're part of the board. So we could like basically kiss goodbye to a lot of like what he used to do, which if you look on his X right now on Rory Kitty's Twitter, you could see like back then he had his title like, okay, I'm here like Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Like he used to do a lot of live streams. Obviously you can't do that anymore in terms of live streams about like any stock that he has information to. So his life would basically be very different, I think, if he were to join the board. But obviously right now he can do whatever he wants because as of right now, at least legally, like we don't know. And he's not a part of the board, right? But I saw this online where I don't know what Hebrew gematria is, but there's people out there who like numbers, right? Like they use the numbers apparently of tweets, and I did not fact check this. I have a lot of time today, so maybe I'll fact check this later or on the stream. But apparently, people went and counted the amount of times that he tweeted, and apparently, he tweeted 117 times, and 117 tweets, I think, around that number. If you look at it under Hebrew gematria, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's GMATRIA. They're saying that it's actually code for hold me. So like hold me as in like you should hold GameStop. I don't know how much I want to read into that, but yeah, maybe that's what he's saying. I mean, that'd be really like nice though if he knows that for sure it's going to go up due to his calculations, not insider information, but due to his calculations. And he's a smart guy. Obviously, he figured it out back in like 2020, and like a lot of people didn't clearly. Otherwise, all of us that are currently making YouTube videos about it would all be like multimillionaires. So he figured it out before a lot of people, right? He basically caused a huge like rally in GameStop, or we could say helped with it. And there's all these commentary now on like everything, every little thing that he does. I feel like if he did know that it was going to go up, it is a better, the kinder thing to do that he is tweeting about it and talking about it, because that's how I felt about like, even though, yes, for example, Dogecoin went down from the SNL live in like May of 2021 for Dogecoin. Even though that happened, and a lot of people like hate Elon Musk for it, and they're like, oh, that's a rug pull. He just scammed all of you guys, blah, blah, blah. I see it as, at least I had the opportunity when he was tweeting about it back in 2020, when Dogecoin was like under a penny, to take a look at it, like at Dogecoin. Like I didn't have to buy it. I chose to buy it, obviously, in 2020. And then I just basically got really lucky. But I feel like that wouldn't have been the case if I didn't see a billionaire like Elon Musk talk about Dogecoin that many times. The way I see it is, no matter what happens, I will never hate Rory and Katie, just like I do not hate Elon Musk, even though the price of Dogecoin did go from 75 cents on Robinhood before SNL to now at a current price of like, I don't know, I think we're at 5 cents or something. Recently it was at 22 cents, but anyways. So there's just, I'm just not going to get mad. And I feel like if you guys are going to play with your own money, you should never hold anybody else, not a YouTuber, not somebody on X, not a billionaire, not Rory and Kitty, not Elon Musk. Nobody else should be held accountable, not even Jim Cramer, for your trades besides you. So definitely be careful out there and get ready. We're either going to go to the moon, or some of us are going to be crying by the end of next week. And it's going to be, and I'm not even sure, this is like before, like the craziest thing right now, I feel like also is like, there is no time. Before I had these timelines in my head, I'm like, okay, like GameStop, just a short trade, swing trade for me. We're just going to enjoy it for the ride that it is, right? I'm like, okay, June 11th was supposed to be the earnings call. Didn't happen because they did it prior to his live stream, right? The weekend before. And afterwards, we were supposed to get the earnings call on Friday, and then we didn't get that. And then now we're supposed to get it tomorrow. So I guess we'll find out on their shareholders meeting what's about to go down and if they're going to do any mergers and acquisitions. But also the thing on mergers acquisition, yes, GameStop did file because they have to officially file for the fact that if they're going to plan on doing any mergers and acquisitions, but they don't have to. Like it's a possibility. And I think a lot of people think that they have to announce something on the shareholders meeting. But from my understanding, it could take months for them to like decide what to do. And for like a proper conversation to be made, it might take them some time. So I'm not necessarily expecting that there has to be some information released on Monday. Originally I was, and then I'm like, maybe not. And originally I was kind of also a little bit pissed off. Like I didn't think that Ryan Cohen necessarily rug pulled Ryan Kitty, but at one point I was also a little bit disappointed because I felt like obviously if they're gonna do their share offerings, they did 45 million share offering. So basically that diluted the shares, but then that helped them, I think, raise about 900 million. So just under 1 billion. And then they did the 75 million share offering, which supposedly got them around 2 billion, plus what they already had around 1 billion. So now apparently they're sitting on about $4 billion cash flow. And that's basically supposedly at a better, it's called cash to price to cash ratio. So we'll have Google explain it. So cash to price ratio. Well, price to cash flow ratio is a ratio used to compare a company's market value to its cash flow. It is calculated by dividing the company's market cap, which is around $10 billion right now, by the company's operating cash flow in the most recent fiscal year, or equivalently divide the per share stock price by the per share operating cash flow. So right now, obviously, you guys have heard, this is like talked about on CNBC News as well, that with around $10 billion market cap or around 9 billion, whatnot, and they have about $4 billion, that's like more than 30%. At one point, people were saying, okay, they have like about 30% in cash of their entire market cap, but now they're closer to like basically around $4 billion. But anyways, I'm still waiting for Yahoo like to update also the short interest, because a lot of people are now saying that the short squeeze is done. There's no more short squeeze because people are saying that Roy and Kitty closed out on his like call options. Obviously, it was supposed to expire on June 21st. He closed them, and that means that maybe he's just not as bullish as everybody thought he was. And they're like, okay, short sellers are out, Roy and Kitty's out. Like this squeeze may not happen anymore. So I feel like I don't think everybody necessarily knows what they're talking about on that, because until we get the actual information as to the short interest, and then just keep in mind also we don't know about the equity swaps. We don't know what's behind the scenes that you're not going to see exactly upfront. That also could still technically cause some type of a short squeeze in the future. You just don't know what you don't know. But I am curious to find out that short interest. I actually think that it could still be high, because as much as, yes, I'm in it and I feel like a lot of people might be buying into it, but maybe we're actually going to end up losing money at the end of all of this. I don't know. But even though a lot of people are getting into it, it could just still like plummet like a rock. At the same time, I still know a bunch of people that like, they still look at it as a joke, because if you've experienced it or even seen it on the news in 2021, or even listening to the news now, if you're Bloomberg, you're CNBC, and if you're like all these folks with a lot of money, like hedgies basically talking about it, fund managers, and they're just basically like nobody's really taking it that seriously, right? You were like, oh, okay, a lot of these investors, a lot of these retail investors, you and I are just basically going to get burned, and that's what I keep hearing over and over again. And obviously, that's what they used to say about Bitcoin as well. People used to say that, okay, if you're in Bitcoin, good. Like actually, like not people. You got people like Peter Schiff right now, Peter Schiff Gold. They still talk about how eventually, we're going to find out, FAFO, but that's not what he said. But basically, like there's still a lot of people who don't believe, and they're like, well, these investors in Bitcoin are still going to find. They're going to find out, because Peter Schiff, we know that he doesn't care for Bitcoin. He cares more about gold, and he thinks that the people that are invested in Bitcoin, whether you have like your entire house money on whatever, that a lot of those people are going to get burned. The new arrivers, not the people who have been in it a long time or even early, or the Michael Saylors of the world. Actually, he didn't even get in that early as like Brian Armstrong, COINBASE. But you get the gist. So, anyways, I just want to talk about how I think it's crazy to me that even though we are getting crazy volatility, and after having experienced 2021, I am scared. Like, don't get me wrong. This was a hard weekend. This is still a hard weekend. I just can't wait, guys. It's almost 3 p.m. PST for me, and I'm just waiting 5 more hours until I can see at least, because 24-hour trading on Robinhood, which, by the way, if you want to get in on that as well, use my Robinhood link pinned to the top of the stream or down in the description below. You can also check out my other platforms. I post my trades over there. I do trade updates on my Patreon or my OAS, so you can look that up, down in the description below. All my pay tiers. The $20 tier for my Patreon, or you can pay per post for my trade alerts. I'm not saying that you're going to make money off of my trades. It's just for entertainment purposes only, obviously. So for those of you guys that are interested in my trades, you can go check it out there, or DM me after you pay for the $20 subscription, which I think is not a bad deal for considering I've seen people who charge $500 just for like a month. A lot of others. Are we getting rich? Draw for real. Hi there. I don't know. I hope so. All I know is I'm either going to get really rich this coming week, or I'm going to be eating ramen for the next coming 6 months or so. Let's go. Bossy and Sweet Records. Oh, I like the name. Crypto Link. Hi there. So Miami. Wait. So Mommy. I was like reading that as Miami. Will we squeeze next week, guys? Oh, and another thing I learned through my 5-hour watch of Roaring Kitty videos is that he doesn't define a short squeeze. He didn't even think of it as a short squeeze, by the way, where I feel like, first off, this is his words, not mine. Roaring Kitty had said back in 2021 in his live stream, the 5-hour long one that I watched, that he doesn't think a lot of people who are out there saying that a short squeeze is happening or that a short squeeze has happened even really knows what a short squeeze is, because he says a short squeeze. Well, he didn't even believe that there was necessarily a short squeeze when he bought the stock at around $4 and it was around 30 something dollars. Okay, basically 10x, and he did not think of that as a short squeeze, because he says by definition a short squeeze is when the shorts are closing out their positions, and then you get this crazy wild uptrend where all those shorts are closing, right? Because they're freaking out as it just goes higher and higher and higher and higher. So he didn't really even think that much of it back in 2021 when it was around 30 something dollars. So obviously pre-split, which if you think about pre-split 30 something dollars, that's about like 120 ish, right? Oh wait, sorry, that's around, let me think. Sorry, divided by 4. So that would be 32 divided by 4. 32 divided by 4. That's around $8. We're way higher than the $8 price right now, right? Because this is after the 4-to-1 split. Sorry, my math is terrible, but 30 something back then, it's around 8 now. Yeah, that makes sense, because back then it was around 2 billion market cap, and now we're around a $10 billion market cap. But anyways, I don't know what he would think now of it, because obviously now it's gone from 2 billion to about 10 billion, and he's still holding, and he still held when it was around like $80, right? Like he could have had $900 million or something. Everyone said that he was basically a billionaire when he had all those call options before he sold it, those 120,000 call option contracts, and he had the 5 million shares. Apparently all of that added up together, I didn't do the math, it was people on the internet, apparently that was around $900 million. So he could have really just cashed out, like basically being a billionaire, because I'm also assuming that he must have other cash on the side and that he doesn't just have a giant GME position and like that's it. Because also if I were him, like if you were to buy other positions as well, like why would you confuse people and like screenshot that, right? And put that on Reddit? I feel like if I were Roaring Kitty, I'd just make it simple for people. I would have maybe another Fidelity account on the side or a Robinhood account on the side for my other positions, right? And then I would have my like his E-Trade account, which he showed on the live stream, which he's been posting on Reddit. I would have that as just GameStop. But I feel like because people see this, they're like, oh, that means he must only have GameStop. Like this dude only has GameStop. Like, no, he might not. He might not just want to show other stocks too, and then like confuse people when you're just trying to show. Like that's the main focus, right? So whatever it may be, apparently with GameStop right now, they're at such a good price to cash ratio flow that like they're better than most of the companies on the top NASDAQ like 100. That's, again, I didn't do the research for that. That's just what I'm seeing on Reddit, and that's what I'm seeing on YouTube. That's what everyone's talking about. Fidelity has my trust, Willem says. Dr. Pikachu, hi there. Welcome. DJ Lorebug, welcome to the stream. Oh, okay. Mr. GC15, thank you. They mostly use, am I saying that right? Is it gematria for sports betting? Okay, I don't do sports betting. But yeah, I don't know. People are saying that he has 117 tweets or something, and then that just means hold me. But I mean, I do believe that if there's too many coincidences, then it's not a coincidence. Like you can't have that many coincidences. And like at a certain point, you just gotta be like, okay, is this something that I'm actually looking at here? But what I am okay. Oh, so I want to talk about like, because I have a good amount in GameStop right now. So I also wanted to ask you guys. I know some of you guys, and if you're not the ones that actually invested in GameStop alongside everybody else and myself, I want to know what else are you guys doing, because I'm potentially thinking about selling some covered call options, because My position is pretty big. I'm okay with selling it at a high price. And basically, when you sell a covered call, you are picking a strike price where you're okay with selling it at, and then you're going to end up collecting an upfront premium. And I've actually not done this for a while, but I'm thinking maybe I want to do that for GameStop, right? Like it's going to be a risky move though because I'm basically putting up my shares as a collateral instead of just like swing trading it like I originally meant it. I feel like right now if I were to sell covered call options on it, I could make like a couple grand on it. Um, but I'd be locking myself in instead of doing the swing trades. But I really like honestly looked at all the amount of money that I missed out on by not swing trading it between around $27 up to 31, which is just continuously, goes in a loop at like for the last like couple of days. It's just really gone like 23, 27, 31, 32, 33 at most, and it just gaps up, gaps down, gaps up, gaps down. Like it's just really crazy. Um, but I'm not a market timer. I'm definitely don't have the confidence in it. So I guess like my only other two options is either coming like tomorrow. Either tomorrow I'm going to sell it and then just try to buy back in slowly, just in case I'm catching like a falling knife. Like let's say I sell it at like 33, right? And I get my money. I could potentially wait for it to drop to 27 or even 29. And then if it drops to 27, I dollar cost average in more and more and more until I get like another position again, only to sell again at around 31. That's like kind of my plan number one. And by the way, this is just all my ideas. I'm not necessarily going through with any of them. Obviously, like my case picture members will be alerted when I do make a move. But yeah, these are just ideas that I'm throwing out there. And also for you guys to know like the potential options out there in case you're also like just no idea what you want to do or what's happening here. But to sell covered call options, I feel like then I would be a long-term investor in that sense. I feel like if I were to sell a call on my entire position on GameStop, or I could just do half, that would be me kind of in it for the long run. Let's say I do like 125 strike price because you could sell a call for 125 strike price. I saw those. If it doesn't go to 125 and I or like my break even price, I don't have to sell it. Right. So basically, as long as it stays kind of down, and I honestly feel like it could go to 125 either in a crazy short squeeze that nobody's really expecting anymore. It could either do that because the prices of GameStop is honestly like just so unpredictable. Like who knew it could have gone to 80, right? Hi there, Patrick. Welcome. So I feel like nobody knows what could be next, but I feel like it might take us some time to get to 100 because 120 like post split is really the highest, right? So to get to like 125, 130 would be pretty rough. At least that's just my personal opinion. So I could do that, but then that's like me locking myself in and not really getting the gains from just swing trading it. So let me know what you guys think. Should I lock in, and do you think I should sell cover call options, collect a nice pretty premium up front, and then that way I get paid a premium and I get to sell at a high price till I go to that price, but then I don't get to make money in between swing trading it? Or what do you think? And by the way, if you're late to my stream, or you're watching this afterwards, just let me know down in the comment section below what you think if you've done this and like what you think the pros and cons are. So what should I do with GME? So I'll just keep it at that. Sell covered call options or swing trade next week or this week. Sorry, this week. I cannot wait for Monday, guys. Just get there. William, wait, what? You want to marry a rich guy? Okay, good for you. I'm like Cher. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen that like viral TikTok sound by Cher, the singer. Like, I don't know what era she's in, but anyways, Cher had once said, she was like, my mom told me to marry a rich guy, and I told my mom I am the rich guy. I think that is the life that I've always wanted. Like, I don't want to marry somebody rich, or maybe I already did, or maybe I'm married, but you just don't know who he is. I don't share my personal information, but I don't believe in marrying for money. I mean, I was told that actually, funny enough. I took my mom on a Euro trip when I was younger, and I remember meeting this lady who specifically, like, she was kind of jaded. Like, she was married to some guy, and she told me she chose love. instead of bread. So chose love instead of money because there was 2 guys chasing after her. Actually, pretty interesting story. I don't know why I don't make this into a TikTok, but so there's 2 guys chasing after her when she was like young and gorgeous. She told me one was a really, really wealthy guy, but she didn't like that much. And then one was like funny, charming. She liked him. And she chose the funny, charming, but poor guy. And then later on, when they got together, had a kid, he totally changed and cheated on her and hurt her. And that's when she told me, like she just met me, by the way. We're just like on a trip together in Europe. We're like in Paris and everything was romantic. And she was like, Lucy, she's like, I was a teenager at the time, by the way. She was like, Lucy, you should never choose love. Always remember. And at that time I was single. So she was like, make sure when you're older, like you don't choose love, that you choose the bread because the bread will always be there, but love may not. And then I was like, damn, that's so cute. But I was like, okay, miss. Alrighty. Thank you. I don't like to talk back to people. Like, I'm like, I like to take in their point of view and then share it with others. I like to take their point of view, take it in, but then I'll still do my own thing, which I feel like is kind of the naive, young way to go about it anyways, because you make your own mistakes and you just gotta live with it. I've clearly made a lot of mistakes, and she had that conversation with me anyways. I never listened to it once. I think at one point in my life, at a very low point in my life, I had to consider it. I was like, yeah, maybe I could just like marry someone rich. Like that would solve all my problems. But then thank God I quickly got out of that mindset. I've only ever dated and wanted to be with someone because I want to be with someone because I felt like that is just the only way to go. I can't imagine like how can you wake up like next to somebody that you're like, I don't know, grossed out by, or you're like not interested in, or you don't even want to kiss, but you're like, oh, I like their money. I mean, I guess there's a lot of those people out there, but I hope for all of you guys that are watching my streams that you don't do that. Like, there's a lot of ways you can make money, not just trading stocks, crypto, whatever, or doing e-commerce like I'm doing right now as I'm talking to you guys, but a lot of other ways. And I don't think you need to get rid of love to kind of like get that to happen. I think a lot of people like it could consume you. Like I know what it feels like to like chase after money so hard that you don't think about anything else. Um, but at a certain point in time, you have to like look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, like I chase after all this money, but like, what is the point of chasing after money? Isn't the end goal like just to be happy? But then after you get all this money, don't you want to find somebody that actually loves you and you love, and you guys are happy together? Or just be living alone, and that's still, in my opinion, happier than being with someone. Anyways, that was a total tangent. Let's go back to GameStop. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thoughts. But yeah. So, oh, sorry. Let me see what you guys voted on. So I asked you guys, would you rather do, would you, if you were me and you have a position in GameStop right now, would you rather like sell some call options on it, and make money, make some premium upfront that way? Which I could also have potential losses because shall we squeeze to like, let's say $200, and that's unlimited loss for myself, right? Like if the thing with sell cover call options is yes, I could put a crazy price like, oh, I'm gonna strike, I'm gonna sell at like 125, but then it could go to like 180, 200, and I'd be missing out on all those tendies, right? But then I guess if you were sell and you do a limit sell order, you would just like miss out as it keeps going up higher if it does do that anyways. There's pros and cons to everything in life at the end of the day. But you guys are saying, okay, swing trade this week. All right, cool, cool. I was leaning more towards that anyways. Oh, you know what? You were watching my live stream, guys. I am so mad at myself. I had the vision and I didn't uphold the vision. So if you were watching my last, I don't even know how many live streams ago this was. It was like within the last 3 days. I was doing a live and I was telling you guys like, okay, I have Uniswap, and I basically I put $20,000 into Uniswap, right? And I bought it around like I think 10.15 or 10.20 was my average or something like that, something low, but it was still like $10, right? That was like my buy-in price for Uniswap on Robinhood. You could trade Uniswap on Robinhood and a couple other cryptos, and I was like telling you guys, okay, I look at the chart. I'm like, I like it. I think maybe we could get to 40, but I'm not going to wait for 4x. I'm just going to sell like maybe $12. So like $12 is kind of like the vision that I had in my mind. But then I paper handed. And I was like, I'm going to be the safe trader. I'm going to like sell. And I was doing a live and it went to like 1060. So I just sold it at basically like 1060 and I made like $600. And guess what? It went to like 11 80 yesterday when I looked at it. Literally like, oh, and I knew it too. I was telling you guys when I was like doing the live stream, I'm like, watch, watch, watch. I'm like, now that I sold Uniswap, it's gonna go up higher. Sometimes, telling you, it just feels like the market's against you sometimes, even though I know I'm like not important enough for the market to care. But it hurts. Hold on, talking to my customer. Good for wait. If Roaring Kitty gets on board, then his memes are over. Good for GME. Okay, poopy poop for traders. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I feel like a lot of traders, so a lot of investors right now, retail investors, and I'm like 50-50 on the line, right? It's really like Roaring Kitty is taking us into like this whole other universe because at first, I think most of us that don't really care about GameStop, like I know I don't really care about GameStop. I'm not like, oh my god, we need to save. Like I actually want to save AMC more than I want to save GameStop because I'm like, I go to AMC. I love movies. Like not always AMC because AMC doesn't really have like 4DX. So sometimes I like to go and like watch movies in 4DX. So you have like the shaking and the water and the mist and whatnot. Or like sometimes go to Regal theaters. It's not like I only go to AMC, but I like AMC. It's like nostalgic to me, right? So to me, it's like I really want to save AMC. So I actually want to save AMC more than I care about GameStop. But I only jumped into GameStop because I'm like, okay, one, I like Roaring Kitty. Two, I thought it was funny. And then three, I'm like, you know what? There's momentum here. Let's just play with it. I think because a lot of people feel the same way as I did, that now it's like, darn it, if he goes onto the board, goodbye, you're right. Goodbye the memes, goodbye the tweets, because you have to abide by like certain rules and regulations. You can't, that's why Ryan Cohen can't just be like tweeting like every day nonstop and like giving out hints as to like stuff about GameStop because that's wrong as a CEO. So that kind of sucks. But then at the same time, a part of me is like, no, this is great. Like this is good. So I'm a little bit split 50-50 because yes, it'll be kind of like no more, not never streams. Because there's like when you have insider information, there's like supposed to be like these blackout dates or whatnot. You can't talk about it, and then there are dates you can. So I feel like it's not like Roaring Kitty just can't mention the word GameStop ever just because he's part of the board. Like you can still talk, which depends on what you could talk about. And I don't think there's rules on the board about memes. So it's not like you can't tweet memes anymore. That's what I think. Again, not financial advice or legal advice. But I think a part of me is like, oh, okay, that kind of sucks. That fun aspect of it, the entertainment, is going to be a little bit diminished if he joins the board. But then the other part of me is like, oh my god, if he joins the board, like, hello. His entire thesis also when he like 3 years ago was Ryan Cohen has his money in it. Ryan Cohen's our man. Like Ryan Cohen knows what he's doing. He's doing the same thing now. So right now, basically think of it as like having one superhero in a movie, now having two, right? Like you got two people vouching for this. So if you're a long-term investor now, or maybe you're just like a swing trader, like I still technically consider myself as in GameStop, you're basically like a swing trader now that could potentially convert to a long-term investor. Okay, value, deep legend value. And that I might argue could be the better route for GameStop, right? Because someone like me would just be in and out, in and out, in and out. If everybody is just in and okay, I want to eat an In-N-Out burger now. But if everybody was just in and out, in and out, by the way, smash the like button, just for the one time though, just in. But if everybody was just in and out, then the price of GameStop will eventually plummet way below $15 because it was around $10 for the longest time before Run Kitty came back. Now I would argue actually it'd be hard to go below $15 again, simply because the fundamentals of the company has officially flipped, right? We went from when it was just around $10 per stock, that was the share price, to now we don't know what they're going to announce, but they already filed for the form, so there could be mergers and acquisitions, possibly, right? And then now there's, I found this video actually, we should listen to it. Found this video talking about how GameStop could, obviously we know they could just turn into like the new, everyone's saying like the new Berkshire Hathaway. By the way, I did not know this. I feel like everyone's talking about it like they knew about it forever. Like, please. But Berkshire Hathaway apparently used to be a textile company, a failing textile company until Warren Buffett got into it. And then now it's obviously like one of the greatest companies, holding companies. And they can like acquire other companies as well, ever. But there's this one video. Oh my gosh, I gotta find this. Talking about how, hold on, let me see if I can get it. Talking about how there's all these other companies in the past, like Berkshire Hathaway, that used to be something else, but then completely flipped and turned from a failing company to a successful like merger acquisitions company. And then that's what a lot of people hope for GameStop. And I think that's a positive. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can find that video. Hmm. Give me a sec. Did I save it? Ooh, okay, I think I found it. All right. So this video I'm watching, give this person credit. I'm watching a video from Finvid, FINVID, if you want to go ahead and subscribe to this channel as well, or like watch this video. But in this video, they did a nice little recap of like just kind of the news that's been occurring. And then also their thoughts on like how it could turn into like, or how people are speculating that it could be the next Berkshire Hathaway and all these other companies. So this is the video that I'm watching, but we'll listen to it together. Um, thank you, Goals. You're so sweet. You're the best. But yeah, that was kind of like a catfish thumbnail because I'm like, I know that YouTube wants those nice, cleaner background thumbnails, but obviously you see my room's always a mess with like some with some ramen on the side. I'm not doing an ad for this, by the way. It's just I ate it one time. I had left the other bag, and I'm just too lazy to put it back because all I'm thinking about is GameStop. Anyway, so let's watch this video. Let's listen to it, and near the end, they'll talk about all these companies that I didn't know about that used to be something else and is now like does like. Nice to be cash, boys. Nice to be cash. I only have a little cash saved on the side in case I need to buy the dip. But we'll see. Stock investors. You know what would be really funny though? Like if GameStop actually becomes like it just makes me laugh even saying it, but I mean it could. We live in a world that feels like a meme and a simulation. But you know how they keep calling it meme stock, and it is, I guess you can't say it's not. But imagine like the news calling it meme stock over and over and over again, and then it actually becomes the next Berkshire Hathaway, and like it starts to like buy out all these other companies and just booming and exploding and becoming like the next Nvidia. I would, oh my god, I would laugh so hard if this thing goes like. I would think it would be crazy to even get like 10x, but I think it's not impossible. Like I would never bet like $1,000 even with somebody to say it could never go to 10x because a part of me actually feels like GameStop could possibly 10x. Could it go down 90% too? Yes, absolutely. But I think it could go 10x. But for it to like 100x, imagine that. Yeah, I also want to add that, like, okay, if you look at his original Reddit post, it said that he had like 20 something million dollars, or it was like more than $20 million cash, right? Something along those lines. And then now his recent post that there's like around 6 million ish. So he must have spent a bunch of money to, like, I don't know, either buy more call options or he clearly bought more stock with it. I think he said black. They keep showing the clip of like Roy Kitty when he came up with all the band-aids on Friday, and like last Friday, last Friday, and it was at $38. Kind of surprising, like, now to see it like drop $10. That's wild though. I can't imagine like having bought GameStop at like 38 or like 48 and then now seeing a 28. It is rough. Hi there, Sean. Welcome to the moon. Sean says, I know the majority really don't like GameStop at all. I mean, I'm not sure if the majority don't, because there's 600,000 people watching his live stream, but I'm not sure everybody's a fan of him. I'm a fan. I think a lot of people that just don't care about like stocks definitely don't need to know who he is and don't care. But like if you do trade, you may not be trading meme stocks, so you still may not be interested. But things may change. I don't know. It could change really quickly depending on what information is released on the shareholders meeting, or maybe nothing will be released. Actually, I'm curious also what you guys think, like what will happen on this shareholders meeting, because I do think there's a sweet chance nothing will happen until like maybe the next shareholder meeting, right? Just keep you like anticipating for more, like a movie. Um, goals. Yeah, so I'm pretty when I do smart things. So then I'm ugly when I do stupid things, right? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I try to do more smart things then, because who doesn't want to be pretty? I think Roaring Kitty needs to pump GME to $500, Stinger Hit says. I mean, to be honest, I think he would be more satisfied at $500. But post split, $500, little challenging, considering we're not even at $100 yet. That would be way higher than the previous high because they already did a split. I'm just kidding with you, goals. Does she re-chat or just talk to herself? I was watching the video that you guys are supposed to be listening to. Sorry, it's gonna get to the good part right now. The YouTuber, that I'm watching, the Finvid, FINVID. You can look it up yourself. it's just playing like clips of like CNBC and all this Bloomberg and other stuff. I'm waiting for the ending where they talk about all these companies that used to be something else, like Berkshire Hathaway, textile company, and then you're right. I just talked to myself. And also, I do want to add, like, who's to say again he doesn't have more call options? Like, if you go and look at the options charts right now, like there's a lot of call options. Like some, I think, like strike price like closer to 150. So, like, who is to say that this man does not have another account again on Fidelity or like Robinhood or somewhere else that actually has call options rolled out way into the future? Like, I know his apparently people that have studied his trades say that Heath Gill is the type of trader that like his moves are buy call options about 4 or 5 months out, which I don't even think is that long because sometimes I do call options that are 1 to 2 years out. But anyways, he does like let's say 4 to 5 months out call options, and then he buys a bunch of shares. So it's like up, uppity up, and then just rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. So and he could sell the call options or he could execute them or sell the shares and whatnot, and then just like rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. But again, who's to say he doesn't have another account that's also buying puts, kind of like hedging for himself, or another account that has a bunch of call options that people don't know about because they're like, oh, he sold all the calls, he sold all the calls. Maybe that means he's not that bullish, but I feel like he's more bullish than ever because he's putting in 9 million shares at like over a $20 average. So if this thing goes down to like $10, he's just down 50 more than crazy. And I love how like when they say I haven't like all these news outlets are like we haven't verified it. It's like you can't really verify who owns what options. It's like not knowing somebody's like wallet address for like Bitcoin or Dogecoin and then saying like I think it's this person because they're posting it on Reddit, but I'm not really sure. And then now, okay, finally, this is the part that I think I wanted to have you guys listen to that I thought was cool. Disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make financial decisions based on what I say or do, by this YouTuber called Finvid. Got it. Oh, okay. Larry Chen. I don't think I follow this person, but I should. So, anyways, this YouTuber posted this tweet from somebody named Larry Chen, Larry VC as the Twitter. Okay, I'm gonna go follow this person. Larry VC. Okay, followed. So it's this dude. He's showing like a tweet from this guy, Larry VC. Let me just see. I don't know if I could find this specific tweet, but okay, I don't see it, but it's fine. Oh wait, it's on May 30th. Okay, I should have scrolled. But anyway, so on May 30th, this Larry Chen person posted on X and said, "Do you remember when Berkshire Hathaway was a textile company? American Express was an express mail business. Nokia was a pulp mill." I did not know that. Samsung was a grocery trader. Marriott was a root beer stand. Instagram was a check-in app. I don't. Businesses evolve. Other examples? Question mark. So, let me know if you guys knew about any of that. As I know those companies, American Express, Nokia, Samsung, Marriott, Instagram, and I did not know that that's what they were before. But I think it's time. I feel like it's been a while. Nobody in our or this generation recently with the meme stocks has ever heard of a company transform itself, at least not from a meme stock, into anything else. So I think the world would be ready. Again, I feel like when I see this stuff, I am being as a basic trader who's, I've never went to school for finance or anything. Like I'm being lured. I'm being lured into wanting to hold and diamond hand GameStop, like possibly forever as like the next Nvidia. I'm trying to calm myself down though. That's why I make these videos and I'm making like my true actual like thoughts right now. So it's like this stuff is making me my heart beat like, oh my God, like Lucy, you bought it for swing trading, but maybe that's the wrong move. Maybe you should diamond hand it forever, which was never my thought back in 2021. Like I still was greedy and I didn't sell when I went to like 400, but I never wanted to keep it forever. But now part of me is like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, this company's like not even the same as it was back then. So like maybe I should. Maybe I got in early now. Maybe I could consider myself getting in early. And maybe I want to hold it forever. Or a very, very long time. So decisions. This is my dilemma now. I'm still leaning more towards being safe about it though, just because I feel like I'm not rich enough to diamond hand it just in case, right? So I will probably, my game plan is I might even get rid of it before the shareholder meeting at it would be I think 9:30 a.m. PST for me. I don't know. We'll see. Like after 8, I want to see the volume, like just on Robinhood for the 24-hour trading. What happens? And if it's really beautiful, I could sell it just 24-hour trading, or I could wait for pre-market, where I've seen it have a lot of movement over the weeks, or I wake up at around 6:30 before the shareholder meeting and see what the price then and try to get out. But a part of me really wants to get out of GameStop just in case before the actual shareholder meeting. So just in case the shareholder meeting, like they don't announce anything, or they announce something bad, because I have to prepare myself for all the possibilities, then I'd be safe. If it goes up, then I'll just think of it as, okay, missed my chance. Maybe I'll wait for another dip. And if I still believe in the company, I'll just dollar cost average. And then I'm still leaning more towards that thought process. But again, I will update my members on my pay subscriptions when I do make the move. All right. So yeah, that was a video that I kind of want to share with you guys in case you want to check it out, like, and make your own decisions on it. Of course, I don't want to be telling you what to do. It's crazy though. Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen this week where either I don't think we're gonna stabilize at $28. It's either to the moon, possibly 30 something dollars, 40 something dollars, 60, 70, 80, 100, or down to 15. I don't think it'll be 10 though, because obviously when it was 10, they didn't have that much cash on hand. But yeah, I just don't think it would stay stabilize at this current price. So I think that's the thing that I'm like most excited about. But it's surprising, you never know what could happen with this stock. That's why it's like so entertaining to watch. Sorry. Let's look at the chat. I bought Jasmine at 1 cent. It's around 4. Nice, to the moon. So it was, yeah, I was watching Jasmine, and it just wasn't low enough because I like obviously recently everything dipped. So when I went to 3.3 cents, I'm like, that's still higher than when I recently bought in a lot, like dollar cost averaging down to, because I bought way high. I bought way high after I already made money back in like 2021. And so this time around in 2024, I just basically bought a lot when it was lower to average out. But I'm still down. I need Jasmine to seriously like 4x for me to be happy at this point, for the interests that I probably lost by putting my money in there and having it not make money for like the last 3 years. So yeah, that's my Jasmine. I'm glad that it didn't, even though everything tanked, it didn't do that bad. And now it's already almost back up. Right. Do you buy Google? Do I have Google shares? No, I don't have it right now. And I don't have NVIDIA either. Yep, options and shares are both risky, not advice, Goal says. You can still swing trade and hold by scalping or taking profits. This is not financial advice, not a financial advisor, DJ Lorbuck says. Thank you. Yeah, and I feel like even though that's not on my thought process, I don't know why, I'm just like, my mind works really weird. Like for me, I'm like, I just like to do all in or all out. Like I could do holding the shares and doing a sell cover call. Like that works in my mind. That makes me feel good. Or I just want to not have sell cover call. I don't have it right now, by the way. And I just feel better about like swing trading it, the whole thing possibly. Or I could continue what I already did, which was, okay, bought in, sell half, sell 75%, keep the rest in just for the moonshot, maybe. And then if it goes down, dollar cost average in again. So like I'm more leaning towards that. Still undecided. I guess I'll decide. It's kind of like, when they're like, would you do this if they're like there's $1 million given to you? And I always say like, yeah, I'd like to think I would do this, but then I don't really know until the money's in front of me, right? Like would I eat 700 Krispy Kreme donuts? That would be very uncomfortable. Would I attempt to eat 700 Krispy Kreme donuts in whatever limited amount of time? If I was given $1 million right now, I'd say like, yeah, I think I would do it. But then if I see the Krispy Kreme donuts in front of me, and I don't think I could do it, and it grosses me out, then I might not. Or like you see the cash in front of you and you're like, no, but then you see the cash in front of you, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna have to decide based off of how I feel and by how much my portfolio either goes up or down. Sometime today. Where I hope it moves. I hope it moves because not all the time, 24-hour trading do I see that much movement. But when he like, oops, when he does like a meme and stuff, like it's moved it up a lot. Goal says, I think Google's going to double soon with the GME squeeze. Interesting. I don't know what's the future for Google or Apple or Amazon or Tesla, but I hope and I predict that we're still going to be talking about them. Like the bigger companies are just what it is. It's like a monopoly. You have the buildings, you have the houses, you keep building, you have more money, you keep building, you keep building. So yeah, and no part of me am I worried about these companies. I just have a little bit of my doubts on NVIDIA though. I don't know how much it can continue to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. But yes, for the ones you just mentioned, absolutely. Well, Wall Street has to value the business. Cool. Sting, it says, I made 20 bucks from GME, then I got back into it and I was down $200. So when I was down 30, I sold right away at 4 a.m. Nice. But again, if I waited, I would have made a few hundred. I stay away because it's risky. I mean, it's all of it is risky, just the overall stock market, no matter what you're buying, but some are less volatile than others. Like I don't expect to lose 90% of my portfolio investing into Apple or Tesla ever in one day, that is. But who knows? Who knows what's going to go down in the future? Ooh, also want to talk about Ethereum because I swear I heard somewhere on the news that people were talking about like ETH ETFs, because we know the spot Ethereum ETFs were approved, but it's still not trading yet because there needs to be more forms by all these firms to be sent to like the SEC and approved. But I hear that it might start trading like the beginning of July, when we're getting really close. I mean, like probably need like 2-3 more weeks. So I think that would be a really nice moonshot for like all of crypto if we get that nice catalyst. Because right now there's like no good news. Like there's no amazing news for crypto right now, right? Like no new companies are like, oh, I'm gonna sell you cars by you buying it with Ethereum or Bitcoin or something like that, right? And like, yeah, we hear Michael Saylor constantly wants to raise more money and get more, but like that's not enough meat anymore. Like we need more. So I think it'd be interesting. And I would love, and this would prop up crypto so much if tomorrow we hear Ryan Cohen say something like, yeah, I like Bitcoin. I've liked it for a while. We're going to get Bitcoin. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me on my live stream and listening to me ramble about GameStop. Okay, got it out of my system. Now I'm going to go focus on my side hustles, aka my many e-commerce businesses. But thank you guys so much. Take care. Smash the like button as always. I appreciate every single one of you that are in here. I hope you make lots of attendees this week and make good decisions. And as always, never play with money that you can't afford to lose. Peace.